Hello everyone, I'm Trung with VTV International. You're watching the English Bulletin, VTV News, for the latest events related to Vietnam. First, let's get you up to date with the headlines. Bắc Ninh province attracts more foreign investors. And later, a documentary about Alexander Yaxing inspires Vietnamese students. Despite the global economic downturn, Vietnam remains an appealing destination for many foreign investors, including many from Europe and Latin America. The following report visits the northern province of Bắc Ninh, a key location for foreign investment in Vietnam.
Last year, Bắc Ninh province ranked 5th in the country's list of areas receiving the most foreign direct investment. The 640 foreign investors here have generated a capital source of over $7 billion and have provided nearly 150,000 jobs for Bắc Ninh residents and those from the surrounding areas. Preferential policies have been an important factor in attracting foreign investors.
We always do our utmost to help potential investors complete the administrative procedures quickly. We can grant them business licenses just in 1 or 2 days. The regulation time is 5 days, but if they can prove their potential, we can shorten the time frame to just 1 day.
Bắc Ninh province especially appeals to many world-leading electronic groups, including the Laird Group from Britain. Laird products will enhance its presence in Asia by serving smartphone factories and manufacturers of hand electronic equipment.
We decided to invest in Vietnam because the procedures are simple and Vietnamese workers are skilled and hardworking. Besides, our potential customers are also turning to invest in Vietnam.
Laird is among a number of European multinational groups who are investing in Vietnam. On June 6, the Wall Street Journal of the United States commented that Vietnam ranked 3rd in the world for its attraction for foreign investors. The journal stated that of every 100 multinational corporations in Europe and Latin America, 25 were looking into investing in Vietnam.
Since early June this year, Vietnam's electronics industry has witnessed a significant increase of FDI as many foreign investors have started construction of electronic component plants here. On June 11th, Laird plc, a leading British-based electronics and technology business, inaugurated its first plant in Vietnam. Earlier, Ho Chi Minh City also approved Samsung Group's new project at the city's high-tech zone. Meanwhile, in the city of Hai Phong on June 6, Hai Phong Economic Zone also granted a certificate of investment for 4P Electronics Company Limited, who produce spare parts for electronics and telecommunication devices. Now, although consumer confidence and trust in made-in-Vietnam products is on the rise, Vietnamese businesses still face stiff competition from Chinese and Thai entrepreneurs who are eager to elbow their way into the Vietnam marketplace. According to recent statistics released by the Central Steering Committee on the campaign for Vietnamese people to give priority to Vietnamese goods, local goods comprise roughly 80% to 90% of products stocking the local supermarket shelves. Additionally, 71% of Vietnamese consumers say they have faith in the high quality of Vietnamese supermarket goods. However, the Ministry of Industry and Trade reports that sustainability for Vietnamese products is not assured and the import of Thai goods is on the rise, ranking 3rd in the local market, just after Vietnamese and Chinese products. In many developed countries, income from banking services often accounts for 60 to 70% of the bank's profits. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, despite difficulties in the credit market, 70% of banks' income currently comes from loans. In order to address the situation, many banks in Vietnam have recently initiated a range of banking services to improve their revenue streams. More to follow.
Cao Minh Chung has been using banking services such as international payments and transfers for the last 20 years and has witnessed various changes in Vietnam's banking services.
I have seen a lot of changes over the years. I find it very convenient using international payments and transfer services here. We have good services for payments as well as procedures, especially for high liquidity and security too.
Along with modern technology, many banks have launched a series of service packages that are noted for their user-friendliness.
The services I use most often are my deposit account, cash withdrawal, and payment services. At present, banks have introduced many online services and transaction centers that are very convenient.
According to financial reports by Vietnamese banks for the first quarter of 2014, revenues from banking services have increased significantly and have gained more and more shares in banks' incomes. This reflects the growing trend in the world's finance and banking industry.
The increase in revenues is mainly based on services like payments, personal accounts, credit cards, online banking, and personal finance management. All of those services are known for their security, and they also help to promote connections with international banks. In the coming period, banking services and revenues from them will see more and more development.
The demand for banking services is a constant that the banks can rely upon. Also, because banking services benefit both customers and banks, the development of banking service packages has become an unavoidable trend for Vietnamese banks.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
Welcome back to VTV News for the latest updates about Vietnam. In a tunnel 1 kilometer underground in the central highway city of Đà Lạt in Lâm Đồng province, there is a fascinating display of hundreds of red clay sculptures. These works of art are a must-see for tourists coming to the city. In the following report, we'll take a look at the unique architecture of this tunnel.
This Hoàng Sa Trường Sa house was recognized as the first house made from unroasted red clay with embossed map of Vietnam on the roof. It is one among many artworks included in the tunnel that shows the cultural and natural diversity of Đà Lạt and Lâm Đồng province. Other highlights from this region included Lang Biang Mount, Pines Hills, and the region's traditional architecture. Many romantic stories featuring the land of Đà Lạt and its people are told through this artwork. It takes my breath away. As they are all artificial, these works show the talent of Vietnamese people.
While the locals here see red clay as unusable, I see it as a new material for my art creations. However, turning this material into art requires special considerations and some experimentation. And so, we reflected on how to make them useful for the art. As you can see, we did it.
The red clay, which is useless in the minds of the local people, has been turned into many artistic works. This underground tunnel is now considered an ideal place for visit as an alternative to Đà Lat's established tourism destinations.
The solidifying technology has changed things a lot. In the past, sculpture was thought of as pure art. But now, we also have art created with the aid of technology. And thanks to this technology, we shortened the time it took to build this tunnel.
The experimental sculpture tunnel has changed the development of the tourism industry of the province. It is expected that the polymer solidifying technology could help extend the tunnel's length, making it the world's longest sculpture tunnel.
In recent years, there have been vast improvements in the study and research facilities of Vietnamese universities. However, for students, especially those studying science, it takes more than just good facilities. They must nurture a passion for their field of research. In the following report, we'll go to an event where many students are becoming inspired.
The meeting hall of Hanoi National University is filled with students, most of whom come from scientific universities. They've gathered here to watch a documentary on Alexander Jackson, a renowned scientist who founded the Indochina Medical College, which is the present-day Hanoi Medical University. The documentary screening was organized by the Swiss Embassy in Hanoi. Not only does this film promote cooperation in education between Switzerland and Vietnam, it is also a chance for students to learn more about the founder of Hanoi Medical University.
This documentary is vivid, real, and informative. Thanks to the talented European film directors, the message is delivered easily and clearly. In this way, cooperation between the two nations is promoted effectively.
Alexander Jackson was born in Switzerland and became a citizen of France, but he spent most of his life in Vietnam. Vietnam was also where he drew his last breath. His life perspective was, "It is not a life that doesn't move." The documentary is about Jackson, who devoted years of his life to medicine in Vietnam. As a medical student and future doctors, we feel so inspired.
I've learned a lot of things from his life and life perspective. They have inspired me, and I really want to devote myself to medical practice in Vietnam.
Scientific research is difficult work, and it requires no small amount of passion and motivation. Many young researchers have left the screening of It Is Not a Life That Doesn't Move, feeling inspired by the film's simple but profound message.
The summer holidays are almost upon us, and so Vietnam Cartoon Studio and its associates are screening 56 animated films for children in Hanoi as part of the 2014 Cartoon Film Week. The lineup includes award-winning productions and new films by young directors. Included in the festival program are Tình Bạn of Friendship, Đuôi của Thằn Lằn, The Tale of a Lizard, and Anh và Em, You and Me. There will be 3 screenings every Saturday and Sunday until late August. The organizers also plan to open a cartoon making class as well as exchanges and other activities for children, which can help them better understand Vietnam's cartoons. And that's also the last piece of news we have for you in this hour. Before saying goodbye, let's take a quick look at today's weather forecast. The weather forecast also wrapped up our bulletin for this hour. Simply visit our website at vtv4.vn to re-watch any of our programs online. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now from Hanoi.